Hey kittens! Silverback once again with my Hillhouse Newfoundland plush puppy, whose name I hesitate to say. I'll give you there you go. That's him. I'm afraid I'm gonna get censored by YouTube if I say it out loud. Um, but anyway, he was featured in an earlier unboxing video, and I was kind of wrestling with whether or not to make a certain modification on this plush. And I decided to just go with my gut. I made an executive decision and decided to close up the open mouth that he had. And I have to say, I think it's such an improvement. As cute as the little tongue was and everything, it was just, the mouth was almost, I don't know, it was just gaping wide, like the jaw was about to become unhinged. So I just got myself a little needle and thread, did a little minor surgery, and I really, really am happy with the result. I think it is definitely better than before. Although you might tend to disagree with me, and that's okay too. But also, something that I had neglected to show in my initial unboxing video was, well, I did show the front of this card that came with him, and I did snip it from his ear because it was just obnoxiously large. But actually, inside this card, there is a map that shows the actual route that Lewis and Clark took on their expedition, and which this little guy accompanied them on. So I thought that was kind of cool. You can kind of see the, the trail that they blazed. And there's some information here. And this could be a really bad idea, but there was sort of an extended story behind this dog. So I thought maybe some people might be interested to hear a little bit more about this dog and what he went through on his journey. So I was just actually going to read this to you. So hopefully this isn't too dull, but I thought it was kind of interesting. So anyway, this is the story of, I guess I have to say it's Seaman. Okay, so it says, my adventure with the Lewis and Clark expedition started in 1803 when Captain Meriwether Lewis purchased me for $20. We had to wait in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for the keelboat to be constructed. In August, we finally started down the Ohio River, but we had to stop at Wheeling to pick up needed supplies. A few days later, I impressed Captain Lewis with my ability to hunt and catch squirrels that were swimming across the river. Later, when we stopped at the Falls of the Ohio, I finally got to meet William Clark, and we soon became good friends. There, we finished recruiting the 9 men from Kentucky to join us. We proceeded on, recruited more men, some at Fort Massac and some at Fort Kaskaskia, and then set up winter camp on the Wood River near St. Louis. There I got to hunt and play with the men. The following spring of 1804, we started up the Missouri River on our journey to explore the Louisiana Territory. We spent a very cold winter at Fort Mandan with the neighboring Indians. In the spring of 1805, we proceeded on all the way to the Pacific, where we built Fort Clatsop, in which to spend the winter. We started our return journey in 1806. The trip from Camp Wood to the Pacific and back took more than 2 years. During the expedition, I helped the men hunt beaver, rabbits, birds, ducks, deer, elk, antelope, and many other animals. When I wasn't hunting them, I was retrieving them. My keen sense of smell enabled me to save the men by warning them of the presence of the ferocious grizzly bears. And because of my courage, I saved the captains Lewis and Clark by driving off a stampeding buffalo just before he would have trampled the tent in which they were sleeping. Just as with humans, mosquitoes, gnats, and ticks bothered me. My feet also became sore from all the walking and the stones and cactuses that cut my paws, especially at Great Falls. I had 2 very close calls with danger. Once a wounded beaver bit me. I became very ill, but Captain Lewis nursed me back to health. Most of the Indians we met were friendly and curious, as they had never seen a dog like me. They often tried to buy me, as first happened in 1803 when a Shawnee offered 3 beaver skins, but Captain Lewis always refused. However, in 1806, some Indians took me. Fortunately, the men gave chase, and the Indians were forced to let me go. All in all, my trip with Lewis and Clark was quite an adventure. I hope you get to follow the Lewis and Clark trail and take me along with you. I'd like to go back and see all the old sites. Because I wasn't mentioned when Lewis and Clark finally returned, some historians today aren't sure what happened to me. What do you think? So that was, I thought, kind of an interesting background on this little guy. And it sort of gives you some insight into the sort of life that he led and the things that he saw. So I just wanted to share that with you guys and to sort of show off my handiwork. I am not much of a sewer, but I was able to pull off that much at least. And anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I didn't bore you terribly with that. And I will see you next time with some more plush fun for you. Bye, guys.